Anybody heard of these organizations? You hear a lot of conspiracy theories about them, right? I listened to an interview from a Mason which inspired this today. I know that planted a seed in my mind. I listened to a Grand Master Mason who ran a lodge. So I'm going to talk about secrets that have been hidden in plain sight. I learned from a guy who was a part of an elite secret society that was essentially the pinnacle of the secret societies. So you get invited and get an invitation to the secret society after you become a 33-degree Mason, or after you made it to the top of the Illuminati. And this is allegedly. And he made it to the top of the secret society. It was called the Brotherhood. The Brotherhood was different than other secret societies because not only were they a secret society, but they kept their existence secret. This guy was a part of the Brotherhood, which is the elite of the elite secret society. He exposed the secrets. Once he exposed the secrets, he got attacked and he got charged with crimes, got sentenced to 10 years in prison, served the 10 years, came out, continued to teach against Big Pharma, continued to teach things they don't want you to know about. And I'm going to show you what he showed me, y'all. And this comes from the knowledge in these secret societies. Okay? When I write this down, a lot of people are just going to click off of here who are conspiracy theorists because it's going to be too plain and too boring for many of you because you want something more juicy. You want something more dramatic. But what I'm about to show you, he says, if you know this, you have everything you need and you don't need a secret society. Manly P. Hall says that Masonry is an open secret. That the cosmos is the real temple of the true Mason. And that the secrets are an open secret. The very first thing he teaches, the number one thing he teaches, is know who to listen to. It's the very first thing he teaches. When you sit and think, why would that be the number one of 5? Why would it be number 1 of 5? It sounds simple. Here's the rules he puts forth on knowing who to listen to. And it's in 2 parts, really. One is more elementary, very basic, and the other one is more advanced. The entry-level answer to know who to listen to. The entry-level answer is you listen to people who have what you want and have been where you are. This is the elementary answer. This is the entry-level answer. They asked him, what's the number one reason people fail? He said, the number one reason people fail is because they're listening to the wrong people. They're listening to the wrong people. People who don't have what they want and have never been where they are. When you look at who we listened to growing up, which is our parents, because we don't really have a choice. We're fresh into the world, we're naive. Do your parents have what you want? The answer, for the most part, is no. Listen to people who have what you want. That's number 1. Exactly, Queen. Exactly. This is the elementary entry-level answer. Second part to the sentence is, comma, and have been where you are. If you want to be a business person, but you've never had a small loan of $1 million to start your business, and you've never had a family who were real estate moguls, you can't listen to a person like Donald Trump or people who've had that situation. Why? Because they've never been where you are. They won't know your struggles. They won't know the challenges of being where you are. So they're going to be totally disconnected and unrelated. So they have to have been where you are so they can relate to where you are now. We listen to people who have what we want sometimes, but they've never been where we are. But most of the time, we just listen to people whose voice is the loudest and most persuasive. But they don't have what we want. So beware of who you listen to. The majority of information you have consumed over the last year, I can guarantee, is from people who don't have what you want. The majority. And the reason I know that is because the people who write blogs and the people who make YouTube videos, by and large, not everybody, but by and large, don't have anything you want. And if they do have money, they got it from teaching other people how to make money when they never had any. They just want your money. And we don't understand the first principle. And this is the first thing that they get taught. For example, if I'm not a source that you want to listen to, and you don't trust me, you don't know me well enough, then there's no way you can listen to me. You may listen a little while longer to see if you feel something there, but let's go into the deeper level, level 2, the more advanced answer. This is answer 1. Answer number 2 is a deeper answer. And this is the one that will drive you for the rest of your life. Answer number 2. Follow your gut. Your gut instinct 100% of the time is correct. 100% of the time. 100% of the time. 100% of the time. All the time. Not sometimes, all the time. If your gut instinct says, listen to him. Listen to him. If your gut instinct says, there's something here, there's something there for you. If your gut tells you to go, it's right to go. If your gut tells you stay, it's right for you to stay. If your gut tells you take the risk, it's not a risk. Your gut knows everything and is always right. Look, the reason that I'm spending so much time on this is because most of you think you're just gonna pass this up and you say, I get it, okay, yep, I understand it. When truthfully, you don't really understand this. And you'll understand, let's go to the next one, and you'll understand what I mean. This is the first thing he teaches from the Secret Society. Number 2, and I'm gonna recap all of this at the end, so stay to the end. We're gonna put all of this together. We're gonna put all this together at the end. Step number 2 that he teaches and learns in a brotherhood. He said, if you know these, you have everything you want. Number 2 is teachability index. The teachability index has 2 sides. One side has to be a 10 and the other side has to be a 10. Because when you multiply these two together, it equals 100%. So in order to get a 100%, you have to have a 10 on one side and you have to have a 10 on the other side. What are the 2 sides? One side, side number 1, is willingness to learn in the first place. Now, if your willingness to learn is a 1 or a 2, what it looks like is you jump out of this chat and you don't come back. That's 1 or 2, you're not willing to learn, okay? It does not take much investment on your end to sit here and watch a TikTok video. All you're doing is watching a live that's more interesting than the other lives that are around, but it does not mean that you are actually willing to learn this. It's not a big investment. So willingness to learn is, are you willing to take your time? Are you willing to take your energy? But more importantly, are you willing to give your money to learn? That's willingness to learn. Willingness to learn is, instead of dead scrolling, I'll stay here and then I'll listen. Another level of willingness to learn is, not only will I stop dead scrolling and listen, I'm going to pull out a notepad and I'm going to pull out a pen and I'm going to take notes. That's the next level of willingness to learn. Next level of willingness to learn after that is, I'm going to direct message and follow up to see if I can get more about this information. A level deeper than that is, you actually follow through and do that and start to read some of the books and listen to some of the audios. That's the next level. That's willingness to learn. Your willingness to learn needs to be 10 out of 10. If your willingness to learn is not 10 out of 10, then you won't learn anything because you don't want to. The next part. Willingness to change. Willingness to change has to be 10 out of 10. This is hard. They asked him, what is the number one reason people fail? Number one, they don't know who to listen to and they listen to the wrong people. But number two, they're not willing to change anything in their lives. They're not willing to change anything in their lives. You're not willing to change the way you eat. You're not willing to change your thought process. You're not willing to change the way you think about people. You're not willing to change the way you think about yourself. You're not willing to change the way you make money. You're not willing to change anything. You want to stay the same and get new things. But you don't want to change anything. This is the number one reason people fail. This is what they teach in the secret societies. Everybody thinks that they're doing devil worship and they're sitting around a circle and they're doing weird ceremonies. What they're doing is they're understanding the universe and they're getting taught this. But they make everybody else, all of us normies, think that what they're doing is some kind of rituals. They're like, they're idiots. They think that we're doing rituals. Haha. Let them keep using their vivid imaginations for nonsense. And let's just keep learning how things really work. What they're doing is they're working on their willingness to learn and they're working on their willingness to change the way they think and change their habits and behaviors. Because they know if they're not willing to learn something new or the same thing at a deeper level and willing to change their habits, they get nowhere. Y'all can learn all that you want to learn from me, from Joe Dispenza, from Dolores Cannon, from whoever is your favorite person. If you're not willing to change anything you do in that day, it doesn't matter that you were willing to learn it. Because let's look at the math on it. Let's say you 10 out of 10 willing to learn. Multiply that by a 0 willingness to change. What's the answer? What's your teachability index? Thank you, brother. I respect you. 10 times 0 is 0. You have a 0 teachability index. Thank you, brother, for that. Brotherly love, appreciate you. 10 times 0 is 0. You are a 0. You're not partially the way there. No, you're 0 the way there. You are totally unteachable. So you can consume. This is where people get caught up consuming information. Willing to learn, you're willing to study all day, but you're not willing to change anything. You think that you're doing something. You are actually at a 0 in teachability. This is a 0 teachability. Okay, you may be willing to change. Like you may be saying, I'm willing to change anything. I hate my situation, but you won't learn anything new. You're not willing to sit down, put your butt on a chair, and take notes and learn anything new. You're trying to change everything without having any new information about how things are actually working. You have a 0 teachability index. You won't even stop to learn anything. You're out there hustling, trying to change everything without learning anything new. And you get nowhere. And I'm talking directly to you as a person because you need to know which one is your weakness. So depending on which one is your weakness is the one you work on. So if your willingness to learn is an 8, get it to a 10. Once it's a 10, then you work on willingness to change. If your willingness to learn is a 10, but your willingness to change is a 2, get that 2 to a 4. Take it from a 4 to an 8, and then from an 8 to a 10. And then you're 10 out of 10 willingness to learn. Oh, wait. He said, my teacher, who was in that secret society, who has exposed all the secrets for everybody to know, he said he would spend years on just this. What if you're consistently in a position where those who are supposed to teach you actually, go ahead and finish the sentence.
They teach you wrong. Got nothing to listen to. They
teach you wrong? Yeah, that go back to number one. Number one is, do they have what you want and have they been where you are? And what's your gut say? If your gut says don't listen to them, stop listening to them. Okay? Teachability index is number 2. Why don't people fail? Number 1, for anybody who's been here, yeah, you just missed number 1. But for anybody who's been here, number 1, who hasn't been here, number 1 is know who to listen to. Listen to people who have what you want and been where you are, but ultimately, you listen to your gut. Number 2 is teachability index. Not Manly P. Hall. No, it's another teacher. So teachability index is number 2. Teachability index is number 2. And truthfully, number 3, this will take the rest of your life to truly understand. You never understand it completely. You'll understand that by step 5. Okay? Yeah, years. He said he spent years just on teachability index because their mind was so rigid and knew everything, so much so that he couldn't teach them anything else. He had to empty that cup that they had full, thinking they know everything for 3 years. I've been around people like that. And I've taught people like that. When I tell you, it's a disease to think you know something. It's a mental disease. Knowing and thinking you know is a mental disease. I can tell you because when I would coach a person or teach a person and they were unteachable, you literally could not either A, get them to sit down and learn anything, or they go, I got it, oh yeah, I know it. They know everything. Exactly. Number 3, it's called the training balance scale. Training balance scale is simple. 5 minutes to learn, a lifetime to master. There we go. If you're taking notes, if you're not taking notes, check your teachability index if you're not taking notes. Training balance scale. Training balance scale has 2 sides to it. Now, the theory is, there are 2 sides, first of all. One side is action, The other side has to do with thought. Now, the theory is whenever you're approaching a subject, this is the theory, you need equal amounts of action and equal amounts of thought. This is the theory. Actions are, when it comes to action, that is what you do. This is a how. This is a business plan. This is making calls. This is hustling. This is the actual work you do. These are the moves you make. This is the doing side. On the other side, it's words like intent, feelings, dreams. Okay? Dreams. Vibrations. Your vibe. Okay? It's thought processes.
Somebody said this is a business thing. I thought it was just becoming a better person.
I mean, do what you want. What do you want? Do you want to be a better person and be a business person? Do you want to just be a better person, or do you just want to be a business person? So put what you want in the chat. Aspirations. Okay? Another word is motivation. Reasons. Your why. Now, the theory is you need equal amounts of both. Both sides are equally important. Now, this is what my mentor said: make billions of dollars, happy, healthy, wealthy. He says this is the great myth that'll keep you broke and without what you want. Why? Because the percentages go this way, more so than anything else. It is 99% this side. It is less than 1% action. This is what they are taught. Do you have to take action? There's going to be action involved because there's a percentage there. It doesn't mean that you're going to be lazy either. It doesn't mean that you're going to take less action than you normally do. But it means that the action will be taken in a spirit that's totally different than the average person. It is not 50-50. It is not 50-50. You have to work. This is people say this all the time. I'm a procrastinator. I don't know why I'm not doing it. I just don't know why I can't get up in the morning. I don't know why. I don't know why. Listen, the reason why is because you don't have an aim. That's another one. You don't have an aim or a dream or a goal. You don't have anything that you really want. You don't have anything you really want. You need to discover what you actually want. You don't have anything there. It's not spawning action. You don't have a dream. You need a dream that you can believe in. That's another part that goes on. Thought is belief. See, there you go. Look, I'm going to pin that comment. How many people in that situation? Somebody who had the same plan for 10 years and made no progress on it. Look, you don't have a dream. You have to get a dream. And the dream has to be something you actually believe you can get. Mariah, you can change that. It's this. Stop focusing so much on how, what to do, the business plan, all of these things. He said one of the secrets is that people think they need to know all these things before they get started. When you don't need to know anything on the how to get started. It's irrelevant. Because once you understand how it works, once you understand how law of attraction works, you realize the dominant vibration you have is creating your reality. Period. You need something that you actually want. Look, if you get started without a dream, it doesn't matter that you got started. This is important. You should get started. Yes, get started. But how my mentor explained it is, if you don't have a dream, starting and your actions are irrelevant. Okay, so let's take that for example. Bills piling up, because you got a real life example. This is what my teacher explained about bills. Okay, you have to take timing out of it. Time is actually on the action side, because it's a very physically dominated thing. The timing is all on action side. It goes in with how. Let me tell you a story. Now, this story may motivate you or it may scare you, but I'm going to tell you a story. I was in the same situation in 2017. Like, don't give me time frames or whatever. 17, 18. No, probably later than that. I think it was like 2020, actually. So like 2019, 2020. I had rent due, and it was due that month. And understand this. Now, don't use your brain to make excuses. Just use your mind to understand how energy works. So, I'm going to tell you a story. You tell me if it worked. So, we owe rent. Rent is due. I'm talking to the front desk lady. I'm like, look, we can't pay this. Isn't what happened was I got a job that gave me 60 grand a year. I was happy, had $60,000 a year, and I moved into Hurst in Texas, right in between Dallas and Fort Worth. I'm there, and I got a new position. This position paid me 60 grand a year. I'm happy. I'm going downtown every day. I'm doing what I love. I'm growing a team. Next thing you know, a couple months later, they fire everybody at the place because they have to cut this division. The division wasn't making enough money. This is only a couple months in. I got promised all of these different things. A couple months in, I get cut. Now think about this. I owe rent. I got a kid on the way. I owe rent. So what I'm supposed to do? The only thing I knew to do was to go to my book that I read is the Bible. You can read the Bhagavad Gita. You can read the Quran. You can read Hindi text. You can read whatever you want. And it says the same thing. You can even read mental science books. Say the same thing. You have to believe. You got to see the picture. You have to have a dream. You have to have a picture in your mind. You have to have the intent. You have to feel like it's already yours. How many people heard this stuff? Easier said than done, right? But I did it. Because what I did was every single day I'm pulling open this book. And I'm reading James. It said, when trials of any kind come to you, rejoice, be happy because it's testing faith. The only reason you're doing this is because faith is being tested. Strengthen your faith so you want nothing. Month number 2 comes by. They let us go. Number 2 comes by. I'm like, we need to figure this out. I got to figure this out. I still don't have a rent. Now, I've never been in a place that even allowed me past 1 month. Never been in a place past 1 month. They kick you out. They send the eviction notice. They do not care about your situation. They don't care if you plead to them. So I wasn't even trying. But I just communicated with them. I'm like, this is the situation. They send me recommendations for people who might be able to pay my rent. Now, this is 2 months in. I'm like, okay. Next thing you know. 3rd month goes by. 4th month goes by. No rent paid. They asking, like, where the rent? 5 months go by. I have a child. Now, I'm working, but the work is not enough to cover everything we're doing. It's much less than what it required to pay the bills. But I'm believing. Mind you, I'm doing it, but the doing is not really producing anything. But even while my external circumstances said something different, here I am intended. I feel like I got it already. I got the dream in my mind. The rent is paid. I'm saying it over and over again. I'm letting off that vibration. My thought process was, as long as I keep reading the book, reading the Bible, and applying it in my life, something is going to happen. I'm motivated every day because I got a child to take care of. I got strong reasons. My why is strong. I got an aim. The rent is paid. Got the intention. Action is not all the way there. 10 months go by. Now, the 10 months go by, we done applied, we done a whole bunch of different things. 10 months go by. When I tell you, they say we out of money, we don't have anything for you. This is on the 10th month. We don't have anything. It's very slim chance that you'll get it. The funding and run out. This one lady, we walk into the building. This lady took a kindness to us for some reason. She talking to me like she really want to help me. Really want to help me for whatever reason on her heart. She really want to help me. Next thing you know, a couple weeks later, they say, look, get a sheet saying how much you owe for rent, send it in, and we're gonna get it processed. We're gonna figure out how to get it processed. I send it in. Y'all, 10 months of my rent got paid. We talking over $11,000 of rent. I have no eviction on my record for that. All the rent got paid. Now, imagine if I would have talked about some time. Imagine if, rather than focusing on my thought process, I thought about the time. I got to do it this month. I got to do it this month. This month, they're going to kick me out this month. Where's all my energy going if that's the case? It's going to this fake time constraint. There are never any time constraints, no matter how it looks that way. Time constraints are arbitrary and they're made up. It's fictitious. When you're working with the power of thought, when you're working with the power of the divine thought process, the equipment that you came equipped with, this is 99% of the process of getting results. It makes things happen in the physical world that don't make any sense. It seems like it's miraculous, but it's not miraculous. It's according to the thoughts. When I tell you, when we say it's 99% thought, that's not an exaggeration. Was I doing action? Yeah, but what was it doing? Nothing. It really wasn't helping me. That wasn't the route that was going to actually solve my problems. I didn't know, bless you, babe. I didn't know what the route was. See, you don't know the how when you get started. You have no idea. I did not know how I was going to pay rent. I just said the intent of the rent being paid. I felt as if it was done. My dream was clear, the rent being paid. I let off that vibration on a regular basis. My thought process was go read the books about faith again, read the scriptures about faith again and again, and digest them and apply them in action. Just believe and do, but believe and remember your intent and remember the feeling and remember the dream. Because I didn't have any room. My reasons was too strong to have a room for doubt. I couldn't doubt. There was no room for it. If I doubt, it's over. It can't be over. I have a child. That was my thought process. Mind you, that's over here on the right side. Y'all, time is irrelevant. If you think about time, I promise you will fail. People who think about how are virtually guaranteed to fail. For the simple reason that you don't know how. You don't know the answer to that question. You have no idea how. Okay? Yeah. They kept me in that apartment. Exactly. It's unheard of. It never happened to me. It never happened to me. They kept me in an apartment with 10 months of unpaid rent. That doesn't happen. It never happens. I've never heard anybody say that happened to them. But in that moment, I was thinking totally differently. That's the whole point here. I want you to know it's 99%. Exactly. That's what I thought. It's impossible. But that's what this does. It makes impossible things happen. It's impossible if you focus on what you can do. It's impossible if you think about how is that supposed to happen. I didn't say, you know what? They're going to give me 10 months of free rent. I didn't say that because I didn't focus on the action side. If I would have focused on how it was going to happen, then I would have been done from the jump. I would have been done. My mind would have been shot. But I didn't focus on this. I focused on this. There we go. That's it. That's it. Mariah, that's it. But this is what they teach in the secret societies. They devil worshiping. People really think that they taking blood samples, dripping it in a bowl, throwing some magic dust in there, and then a devil pops up, and then they do a dance around it and worship it. They really think stuff like that is happening. That is conspiracy theory foolishness. What's happening is they understanding this. You can use this for good. You can use it for bad. And some people manipulate your thoughts. And what they get you to do is they get you to flip the 99% and put it over here. Because why? If you spend all your time in the action side, you got no time for your dreams. You got no vibration that's high enough. You don't have any intentions of your own. You're just following what they tell you. Okay? Yeah, that was oddly specific. I just had to. I had to paint the picture for y'all. Because that's what people be thinking. Okay? No, please ask the question. Go ahead. By the way, y'all can spend the rest of your life studying this. You will not understand it all. All right, that's a good question. What if certain people manipulate your thoughts? You got to understand how the mind works. Your mind is yours. People can influence your thoughts, but they cannot control your thoughts. Let me say that again. People can influence your thoughts, but they can't control your thoughts. Okay? Like I know I was raised, quote, by people with this knowledge that used it against me. Okay? That's fine. One thing is, you understand how this works. Get around people who have the thoughts, feelings, dreams, vibrations, and thought processes you want. Go back to step one, get around them. Get away from the other ones and get around other ones who have this that you want. Because you're creating a mastermind. It's a I don't know why no other book explained it. This is the only book that I know explained it. Law of Success in 16 Lessons. It's the only book that explains this principle of mastermind. What it is, when two minds come together, if you live in the same house with somebody, you have a mastermind with them, whether you want it or not. When you go to work with people, you get a mastermind with them, whether you want it or not. What the mastermind does is it makes results happen according to the collective thoughts of the group. Now think about it. Do you want people who hating on you and manipulating you as a mastermind partner? Well, get away from them. You got to. Okay? Okay? Talk to me after this, Mariah. Okay? Because if you need a miracle, this is the place to be. Just call me Miracle Man. Because I promise you, that's how I've been living my life. It's through miracles. Okay? When I tell you, the way I live my life is through miracles. This creates the miracles. But it takes time to change your thoughts from here to here. Because it's very difficult if you have an external circumstance that's screaming a certain suggestion at you. Okay? Another question. What if someone is in the process of thought, yet nothing changes or goes bad? Okay? That's a thought about time. Take time out of the equation. So if you're in a process of thought, just think, just intend, feel how it would feel if it were true, increase your vibration tone, keep running through the thought process of putting yourself in that scene, that end scene, pay attention to your aspirations, focus here. Whenever you stop and go, where is it? You just went from here over here. Okay, you just jumped from here over to how and do and that. Can my will overcome God's? It's a good question. It's a good question. God does not have a will of his own. God is a tendency to life. The rest is up to you. God does not have a will in the way we have will. God is the tendency of everything. And it's just toward more life and more freedom. That's it. It's total freedom. So free that you can choose evil. That's how free you are. So when you say overcome God's will, God does not have a will that's for or against you. It's just life word. God essentially is a tendency to life for all. So whatever tends toward more life for all is getting done. Now, if you become a cooperative component to expressing the expansion and freedom for all, you get swept up in the current of the tendency. And whatever you're thinking gets the power of the cosmos behind it, the power of all energy behind it, which is why miracles end up happening. Okay? What law did Adam break if he was free? He didn't break a law. He just ate from the tree of knowledge and good and evil. Essentially what that's symbolic of is starting to believe in two powers. I believe in evil and I believe in good. When the truth is, it all comes from one power. It comes from thought. Now y'all see how deep this goes? This is what they learn in the secret societies. It's an open secret for all of us to see and hear. It's available to all of us. This is what it is. Now, 5 minutes to learn, lifetime to master, but this is what it is.
Someone said, so how come things don't work out if we have the free will?
How come things don't work out if we have the free will? Just because you have it doesn't mean you use it. Everybody has it, but if you don't use it properly, or you don't use it at all, or your will is weak from lack of use, then most likely you're just going to go with your habit of thinking about the outside, thinking about how the lack of time that you got, hustling. Most likely you're just going to focus all your attention over here because it's your habit. Does that make sense, Diamond? Couldn't the same reason be used to justify what's called evil? Yeah, if you use this for evil, then here's the deal. You can determine your cause or your thought, but you can't determine the consequence. Okay? Let me see if I can explain it another way. So if you try to apply your will, so you got to give me a specific example, but I'm going to try it again. Let's say I'm willing myself to increase my money. If I'm willing to increase my money, but it's not working, you may think you're willing it. But most likely you have to be, not even most likely, you have to be focused on what you don't want or you're thinking about how. It's the only way that you can't get what you want is if you focused on what you don't really want. You think you're thinking about your intent, but how do you feel? If you're not getting what you want and you're not happy, you're feeling bad, which means you're focused on how or you're focused on what you don't have. That's what you're focused on. And that is the only answer to the question. So your will is weak in thinking about what you do want. You have to strengthen it. So let's go to step 4, and that's going to make more sense. All right? So let's go to step 4. It's going to make more sense. By the way, this is what my teacher taught. He said this is what he was taught in the Brotherhood. This is what he was taught in a secret society called the Brotherhood, which is not only a secret society, but keeps its existence secret. And once you reach 33 degree in Masonry, you get invited into this allegedly into this higher secret society. This is what he said. Step number 4 is about to explain to y'all why stuff is hard for you. It's called the 4 levels of learning. So everybody starts at the bottom. The bottom is unconscious incompetence. I don't know if that's how you spell it. Correct me if I'm wrong. Unconscious incompetence just says you don't know what you don't know. Everybody starts here. It's a bad place to be. But guess what? Everybody's here. No matter how much you know, you still don't know what you don't know. This is level 1. That's level 1. Everybody following? What you think is how you feel. How you feel creates vibration. From that vibration comes reality. You said it. Now, I'm saying something else. If you know it and don't do it, you don't know it. So make sure you do it. Number 2, when you come out of unconscious incompetence, you become conscious incompetent. You become conscious incompetent. That means I realize I don't know. Now, usually this happens when you have failed so much. You're like, I don't know how to do this. Now you're consciously incompetent. So everybody who's asking questions, you move from unconscious incompetence to a level of conscious incompetence. Okay, I don't know how to do this. Explain this to me. That's conscious incompetence. It's a good place to be. Because at least you know you don't know. Now, there's a lot of people who say, hey, all I know is I know nothing. The problem is they know that they don't know anything and they're not supposed to know anything. So you still know it. It's a problem. You have to sincerely not know. And then sincerely realize what you don't know. That you don't know. Why do you say that? Is it because you tried something and failed? Because that's the only way to get to conscious incompetence. Try to comprehend something and just can't get it. That means I don't get it. Conscious incompetent. That's a good place to be. Level 3. Now, once you become conscious incompetent, you seek out some help. You get a guide. Somebody comes in and starts teaching. Level 3 is after you get taught, you become a conscious competent. Now you at least know what to do and know why things are happening. So for instance, you may know after listening to this, how many people been here from the beginning? Put lifer right here, okay? If y'all been here from the beginning. If you heard from the beginning of this broadcast, now you know you conscious competent. Okay, I need to listen to people who have what I want and have been where I am, but ultimately listen to my gut. You know that. Okay, good. Now, if you leave this live and you go listen to your mom who doesn't have what you want, or all of your friends who don't have what you want, or the internet who doesn't have what you want, you just lost this. You know what to do, but you have to apply all of your will that we talked about earlier. You have to apply all of your will at this level until it becomes a habit. So this is why it's hard for you. You have to get to the conscious competence level. And then once you get here, you have to apply it at this level until it becomes the last level, which is the highest level. Unconscious competence. It means you're doing it and you don't even know you're doing it. You're succeeding, you're doing all the things right, and you don't even know you're doing it right. You don't have to think about it. It's in a memory bank. It's automatic. You have to be at this level, one of the most important levels, because all of them are important. But one of the most important levels is this level. You have to spend enough time applying this until it becomes a habit. It has to be a habit for you to think correctly. It has to be a habit for you for when something negative happens to you, you go, this is not negative, this is good. I have no idea how, and I don't even need to know how. I just know that my intentions been right, my feelings been right. So in order for my feelings to be right, my intentions to be right, my alignment to be right, and this can't be wrong then. This has to be aligned with what I'm thinking. I have no idea how. It's about to be an adventure. When that's a habit, you on the way. When it's a habit. Okay? When it's a habit. You need to do it at this level until it becomes a habit. You have to immerse yourself in it. That goes back to teachability index, willing to change. Are you willing to spend the time changing your habits? You have to spend time changing your habits until it becomes in the memory bank. And then guess what? You start over again. And you just deposit habit after habit after habit after habit. Successful people have a habit of doing what failures don't want to do. Successful people have a habit of doing what unsuccessful people just don't want to do. So if you don't want to sit down and read every single day, then that's probably what you need to do. If you don't want to listen to audios instead of music, it's probably what you need to do. If you don't want to go out and look for new friends who have higher vibrations, that's probably what you need to do. Okay? You have to use your will to do what you know you are supposed to do. Okay? We're talking about YouTube University. I'm telling you, this should be your last YouTube University.
Yeah.
End YouTube University and get to doing it University. Now, mind you, I just said it's 99% thoughts, but you need to do work on your thoughts. To do work on your thoughts, we're going to talk about the 5 things that you need to do, how to do work on your thoughts. Okay? Okay, so it said when things don't work out, it said God has another plan or it wasn't meant for you. But how? I want you to be careful with that. I want you to be careful with that. If things don't work out the way you expect, thank you, Nate, for the love. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. Appreciate the roses. Look, if you have a plan and it doesn't work out the way you expect it to, get out of expectation and go back to your thought process. This is working out for me. This is working out for me. This is good. I'm feeling good. I'm thinking good. I got a clear intention. I know exactly what I want. It's working out for me. It's working out for me. It's working out for me. You don't have to know the how. So the how is happening differently than you thought. Disregard the how because that's on the wrong side of the train of balance scale. I don't care about the how. So if something's happening in a different way than I expected it, that's only a how anyways. It's irrelevant. Whatever. This is working out for me. This is working out for me. Eventually you'll see how it works out for you as long as you keep following your gut and doing your thought process. So as you move forward, you realize, oh my God, that actually was beneficial. I didn't even know how until now. Wow, so this thought process really works. Then it actually works out for you. It's been working out for you, but the way that you get tempted is when something works out differently than you expect it to, you call it bad, out of habit. You are unconscious competent at losing and failing and cursing yourself. You're unconscious competent. You unconscious, look, the people we was raised around for the majority of the part, automatic, they know how to think about the negative. You could get cancer, you could get liver cancer, you could get sick, you could get this. Automatically, you think of all the ways it could go wrong. That's unconscious competent. You're unconscious competent at thinking negative. It's unconscious. You automatically go to it. Your thought process is automatically negative. So that's the good thing is, at least you got to unconscious competence or something. Now that you know you can get to unconscious competence, get to the, go back. Realize I don't know what I don't know, so that might not be right. I realize I don't exactly know how to think correctly. Let me go learn how to think correctly. And then once I learn how to think correctly, which you have learned here, now you can apply it. So what you're going to do, you're going to read books every single day. You're going to listen to audios every single day. You're going to associate with people who are moving forward and have higher vibrations every single day. You're going to give recognition freely every single day. And you're going to attend events with people like this who are in this group where your energy goes up from the event, whether it's a virtual or a physical event. That's what you're going to do consistently. Okay? Warn people and the kings of the negative. Yeah. Hold on. So, this is the 4 levels. This is what they learned. This is what they learn. They learn that, okay, as long as we keep people ignorant, we can control them. As long as we keep them unconscious, incompetent. What's the number one sign that somebody's unconsciously incompetent? They know everything. How you know you are unconscious incompetent, you are saying the words, I know, oh, I know that, I heard that, I know that. If you're saying that, this is where you are. If you say, I don't know what I don't know, you're consciously incompetent. Okay, so if you are saying the words or hear the words, beware of the words, oh yeah, I know that. Yep, I know that. Or beware of the constant commentary that you make about some teaching that you think you know. Constantly telling advice. That's how you know you're here. That's how you know you're here. Remember this. This is where you are if you say, I know, or you just giving advice and talking and talking and talking. If you talk more than you listen, you hear. I'm studying most of the day. Okay, I'm listening most of the day. Babe, like if you had to do a ratio, like what percentage of the day am I listening to something versus teaching something?
Probably like 90.
90% listen. So I'm listening 90% of the time.
Oh, I mean, like learning.
Right. I'm learning and listening to somebody smarter than me 90% of the time. Because why? I promise you, I know I don't know. I have no idea what the hell is going on most of the time. At a deep level, I know enough to get everything I want, but it's just so many levels to this that I want to screw down and understand. I need to understand even more clearly. That's my always thought. It's my thought process. I got a habit of doing that. So basically, I got a habit of just going back to this level, realizing I don't know what I don't know. This is what they taught, but they keep everybody else in gossip. You know what gossip is? Gossip is stupid. Gossip is stupid because it's just why are you talking about other people all the time? You're not thinking about thought process. If I'm talking about another person, I'm talking about the thought process and trying to understand the thought process. Like, why do they do that? Well, how come? What's going on in the psychology of that person? That's what I'm trying to understand. Is the mind of the person. What's going on? Why is that the case? Why did that happen? This is the number 4. Number 5 is the most important one, according to my teacher. Number 5 is the most important. That was a boxing training. Just kicked in. Number 5. Okay, number 5. This is it. This is it right here. That's it. If you want to be a master the basics. Do not think about aliens. Do not think about transhumanism. Do not go into conspiracy theories. Do not deep dive into aliens. Do not do none of that. It's irrelevant. Okay? Because this is what, you can binge Billy Carson. When I tell you, it's not going to get you nowhere. I like Billy Carson. It's entertaining. It's not going to get you anywhere. It's not going to make your life better. It's going to give you a different variety of thoughts, maybe. But when it comes to what you apply, listen. Do the first 4 we just talked about. Know who to listen to. Always follow your gut. Learn how to follow your gut better. Just in the last week, I just realized, damn, I've been told by my gut exactly what to do. Look, I'm going to tell y'all once again here. My gut told me to do certain small little things. And I think this is the key. It's hard to know who to listen to and listen to your gut because your gut tells you to do tiny things that seem insignificant. But they're not insignificant. They're the most important thing you could possibly do because it's moving you in the direction you need to go. You have to realize that. Okay? My gut told me to do stuff that was small, itty bitty. I didn't do them. Look, I study this all the time. That's why I study it all the time. Because I know myself. I'm slippery in the mind. It's going to slip out. I'm not going to do it eventually. When I tell you, I was avoiding doing tiny little things that made all the difference. That was this week. I'm over here teaching. When I tell you, it was this week. I avoided the tiniest thing. My gut told me to do it. Easy to do. What's easy to do is also easy not to do. That's the challenge. That's the challenge. There we go. She rocks. Hey, that's a good comment. We need to give her some money for that comment. Student. Being 52, oh, so you know. When I tell you, I literally disobeyed my own gut. I didn't know who to listen to. I'm like, damn, that's a whole other level of know who to listen to. I didn't have to listen to somebody outside. I knew what the answer was here, and I didn't do it. And it caused a lag in my results. As soon as I did it, as soon as we did certain things, stuff started moving. When you stop caring, you start being free. Yeah, go, hey, your gut told you, hey, it ain't that serious. Okay, I'm gonna run it back. Let me run these back for you. 1 through 5. Now y'all know number 5 is the most important. Number 5 is the most important because y'all try to think about aliens or y'all start thinking about some weird thing that has nothing to do with improving your life. Number 1, know who to listen to. All right. Somebody tell me how you know who to listen to. Tell me the answer. Know who to listen to. How do I know who to listen to? What's the 2 answers to this question? What's the 2 answers to this question? Somebody put it in the chat.
Oh, I lied. I have to look at.
Okay. Somebody gonna get paid, okay? Somebody who has what you want, and what's the other part to that? There, been where you are. Have what you want and been where you are. BDG got it. Know who to listen to. Somebody who has what you want and has been where you are. What's the second deeper level answer to this? What's the second deeper level answer to this? I don't know who to listen to. There you go. BDG, you a student. Trust your gut. That is the answer to number one. BDG got both of them. Hey, follow BDG. We're going to give them a gift.
I'm already following BDG.
BDG, we got you a gift, bro. Okay. Number two. Teachability index. It has to be 10 out of 10. What are the two sides? Somebody tell me the two sides. First part of teachability index is what? Look, Mariah, that's good that you realize you consciously incompetent. Good. Yup, willing to learn. How do you know that you're willing to learn? How do you know if you're willing to learn? I didn't really go over it in depth, so don't be sad if you don't get this one. How you know you're willing to learn is based on what you are willing to sacrifice. Okay? Willing to learn is based on what you're willing to sacrifice. Number two, y'all got the number two. It's willing to change. Willingness to learn is number one. I'm willing to sacrifice time, energy, and money to get the information. Second part is I'm willing to change my habits, my behaviors, my thoughts, and my emotions, and my beliefs. I'm willing to change those. Hey, Irma, that's teachability index. Somebody tell me what number three is. What's number three? What's number three? There we go. Called the training balance scale. Training balance scale. The scale has two sides. 99.9% thoughts. 1% action. Get an Uber. No, Mariah, funny as hell. Yes. Okay. Let's train the balance scale. Mariah, the funniest one. Mariah is the funniest one. Train the balance scale. What's number four? What's number four? BG. 4 levels. 4 levels of learning. 4 levels of learning. That's number 4. And y'all just learned number 5. What's number 5? What's the most important one? Number 5. Master the first 4. This is the 5. Mind you, y'all, like, in all seriousness, KT said, my teacher said, if you notice, you don't need anything else. And he's at the highest level of the secret society. He said, if you notice, you don't need anything else. And I thought about that, like, is that true? Hear the truth. If you know who to listen to, that's like 90% of the battle. And then, if I'm willing to learn from him and I'm willing to change to what he thinks or she thinks, then I'm like 99% of the way there. And if my thoughts are right, the facts don't even count. I'm getting everything I want. If I can master just these basics of continually going back to, I don't know what I don't know. Let me go back to my teacher. Maybe I don't know something that he's explained. Let me ask him more questions. Then I can move up the ranks of this 4 levels of learning until I get the habits that person, it gives you everything you want. If you want spiritual awakening, you can get it. If you want a relationship that you love, you can get it. If you want money out the wazoo, you can get it. If you want just happiness, you can get it. Because all you gotta do is find somebody who got what you want and been where you are and listen to your gut about it. Be totally teachable. Just submit to them. Give them whatever they need. Like, give them money, time, energy, and just learn from them. And then focus on the thought process and the feelings while you listen, and change your feelings and keep doing it until it's a habit. And master that. That person's gonna give you what you want. I'm telling you, when it comes, it's so crazy too. I have everything I want in my relationship, right? And when I tell people about relationship, a lot of times they are not listening. They are telling me what the answer is about. They just telling me all kind of stuff. And I'm like, look, I got the relationship that you want. You don't have the relationship you want. You've never had a relationship you want. And it's always the people who have nothing that they want who know everything. And then it's people who surprise me, who listen to me. I'm like, damn, you have more than me in most areas. And you listening to me, that's because the master is the most teachable. They master teachability and knowing who to listen to. The people who are, they so far ahead, like the people who have all of what they want mostly, you notice they listen more closely than the know-it-alls. It's crazy to see. They masters always more teachable than everybody else. Is this a regular teaching? I don't know what you mean by regular. I don't think it's regular because I never heard it before until I listened to my teacher. But this is what the secret society is teaching. Anybody got any questions on this? What's that? Yeah, I do. I'm the only one who I know who teach it regularly. That's true, man. You're right about that. I'm really the only one I know because I done studied a lot of stuff. I'm basically here every day. About 5 a.m., anywhere between 5 a.m. and 8 a.m. I'm here. And when I tell you, I've read a lot of books. Most of them are irrelevant. Number 3, train the balance scale. That's a deep one. 99% thoughts, less than 1% action. Focus on your dream, your vision, your thought process, your intentions, your motivations, your reasons, and do not focus on how. Don't focus on the time frame. Don't focus on how it's going to happen, when it's going to happen. None of those details that you can't understand. Just keep focusing on what you want and emphasize it. Yeah, I'm uploading this on YouTube. If y'all not following the YouTube, go follow YouTube. You can request topics in the group if you join the group. We got a group. There's a link in there.
Yes, we request. Yeah, that's the perfect link.
That's the best place to do it. Like, you can literally request anything. I'll just post it in the group. I don't know. I think the link might be messed up or something because nobody joined. I don't know why nobody joined. That's where all the information is, too. All right, I'm hopping off. I love y'all. I know we really do love y'all. For real. Why are you giving out our secrets? Look.
90% point, but
Right, most people not gonna do it. That's the craziest part. Out of 102 is gonna do it. When Napoleon Hill found that out, so he wrote this book, right? Which is crazy. He wrote this book. He literally put the secrets of the top 500 most successful people in the world and studied them for 25 years for no pay and put it here. And people don't even believe him. It's crazy. People don't even do it. He said at first, this works so fast and so well that it frightens me. And then he told the elite class, because he was mainly Henry Ford, and he said, but you don't have to worry about your workers like turning on you and creating industry because most people don't do it. That blows my mind to this day. He said, it works so well that it scares me how fast it works. But people don't do it. So you don't have to worry about them taking over because they won't do it. Crazy to think, right? It blew my mind. You gotta get the whole watch. Once you get the whole system, it's gonna work. Trust me. Yeah. It's definitely easier to just subscribe on YouTube. I'm gonna actually break down the full system. That's the first video I'm gonna do. I'm gonna break down the system as it's spoken in here too.
people are requesting this video too.
Y'all want this video? All right, I'll do this one. I got you. All right, I love y'all. Follow YouTube. I'm gonna post this video there. I'm posting all my lives there. So, love y'all. I wish I could do this on what you call it? Vertical, not vertical, but horizontal video, like long ways. Yeah, go to YouTube. I'm gonna give y'all some time to go to YouTube.
We just have to make videos.
Yeah. Gotta make them. I'm probably, I ain't gonna go live. I want a better camera too. But anyway, love y'all. Y'all have a beautiful day. I got the video. We're gonna post the video for y'all.